Hideaway Homestead. We're excited today that we are finally starting or proceeding on with a project that's been in the works for a couple of years now. We were able to order a high tunnel, sort of like a greenhouse, from Grower Solution through a USDA grant program. It's taken a couple of years for this USDA grant process to go through. But it seems like a very nice program, and the people around here have been really nice to work with. So last week, Kevin came and with a friend, neighbor, came over here and offloaded all of the components, or most all of the components, from a big FedEx or
the semi-truck.
From a big Old Dominion, I guess it was, semi-truck that delivered them here to the farm. And so we've got them spread out here on the ground, and today we're going to start the site preparation and get ready to get this thing put up. But let me warn you, sometimes it's like going to a cafeteria. When I'm looking at the sizes that were available, we figured we'd go big. So this should end up being a 24 by 48 high tunnel with high sides. So it's going to be a lot of growing space in here, and we're praying that God will help it to be productive and that this will be a very good thing for our farm, for growing food for ourselves, maybe to sell, and for sure for our animals too. So come along with us as we tackle this major project here. Here are the things that Kevin offloaded this week. We've got the metal poles and the bows that make up the roof section, and all of that's still bound up. And then we've got the plastic that is actually the ground cover plastic, I think, over here. And this large pallet contained all of the individual boxes of hardware and stuff like that. Also, we ordered a fan and louvers because we are concerned that in the heat in Florida, we're not so worried about extending our growing season into the fall or early spring, but we're concerned that this is going to burn up come summer. So we ordered shade cloth, and we also ordered these fans and louvers so that the air can circulate and maybe not make it, I don't know, a sauna? What else? What was it? An oven? Yeah, an oven. That'd be even worse. We don't want to cook our plants. We just want them to grow and have protection from the pests or whatever that might get to them. So we're praying that this is going to be a really good thing for us.
All right, we're ready for the unveiling of this thing. We're going to see what all is in here. There's a whole bunch of stuff inside here in a big box under all this plastic. So it rained last night, and so that's the reason everything here is wet. So let's see what all's in here. There's the box. I think this is probably the plastic for the two end walls.
Mm-hmm.
That's what these are. We won't open them all the way
Yeah,
up.
and that's probably the plastic for the main cover, huh?
This is all the, looks like all of the little components. There's
Fittings and hardware?
Mm-hmm. There's a couple of things. These are probably the thermostats, maybe.
Okay.
Or something, I'm not sure without opening the boxes up. Unless it says on here. Power shutter motor.
Okay.
So, that's what those are. Some kind of little motors. So, let's see what else is in here. Oh goodness, all kinds of things in here.
I've heard that they are very good and efficient at
Yeah.
Packaging things. And
Yeah, it doesn't say what this is, but...
Okay. Looks like it had to ship to them to get reshipped. So.
Yeah. And then these bags here, I think these are labeled as to what they are for each sections of the...
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the purlin brackets.
Okay.
With the bolts and nuts and all that stuff in there. Here's the cable truss parts. These are the actual cables. Here's the black strapping.
Yeah, that'll be great.
You use to put over the tops, and we'll show you all that when we start doing this. And
I think that's also used on the roll-up sides.
here's the cable truss parts. This is the turnbuckles and things like that for the cables. This one is a mystery bag.
Huh.
We don't know what that is. That doesn't say. And this one is
heavy.
Greenhouse hardware, it says.
Okay.
That's that. Here's a piece of paper. I don't know what that is either. It's probably a packing slip or something. Yeah, it's just a picture. It shows you how these things go together, so that's a good thing to have.
I think the 24-foot wide high tunnels require additional strapping and stuff. You have to put cables to hold the two sides together to prevent wind damage and that kind of thing. So in looking over the instructions, several of the things were for 20-foot wide and wider that did not apply to the other sizes that people have put up. So they have a variety of sizes available. So okay, we'll see what's on the other side.
I think this is just the visqueen, the plastic for the...
For the roof?
Yeah, for the roof, yeah. It is.
Okay. It's all just folded up in there, so we'll let that go. We ordered additional black landscape fabric, weed block stuff. Their stuff is the best. About a year ago, we decided to save some money, and we bought another variety from an online seller. And let me tell you, that was a disappointment. That stuff didn't last a full year. And so we said, never again. We're going to go back to the Grower Solution stuff, and it has done us well in the past. So I'm looking at the dirt down here in the middle of the pallet and remembering that they delivered this up from the street, and
out by the gate.
The guys were trying to figure out how to get it up into here because this pallet was so heavy, and so you ended up attaching it to the truck?
Yeah, we tied it to the truck with a tow strap and hooked it to the truck. We tied it with a tow strap and hooked it to the hitch on the back of the truck and dragged it on this pallet from out there to up here. And this is where it is now. So, yeah, that was the only way we could move. We don't have a tractor or anything to move it with, or a forklift. So we had to improvise. we do a lot of that out here.
I was just trying to figure how did it get dirt on it. So that explains that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so today's job is to get the land ready. So we've got to get at least clearance for us to put the landscape fabric around the perimeter. And then Tuesday, our family, one of my daughters and her family are supposed to be coming, and they will help us get this thing started. So if we can do as much prep work as possible today, then we can really be all hands on deck come Tuesday. So let's hope this goes well. This will give you an idea of where on our farm we are putting the high tunnel. I keep wanting to call it greenhouse, but anyway, Kevin is just trimming the grass weeds that have grown up through the winter. We talked about tilling up this land, but with such a short period of time in between the delivery of the equipment and getting it set up, that loose tilled soil might be very difficult to deal with. So we're thinking if we can just mow a perimeter and put down the black plastic, that might be the answer to our situation here, at least for now, and then After we get this up, we'll have to go back and see if we can get that middle area tilled up or the weeds pulled out or something like that. But this is going to be an ongoing project for the year. I don't think we're going to have this all finished in a week or two. It's going to take us a while to get this large area worked over and stuff. So you can see it's coming off the west end of our big garden. We had to roll up the fencing that we had in this area last year to clear it, and then this will go towards the road and the pasture behind us here, and 24 feet will be from in this direction parallel to the garden, and then that'll be the width, and then the length will go towards the road. So when you're looking at a lot of land, it doesn't look like that's a very big thing, but I think when it comes time to planting it, this is going to be a lot bigger than maybe we thought it would be. So here we go, more work to do.
Well, we are getting things ready to put the high tunnel up. Carol is mowing the area that it's going to go in, and you can see our heights that we've got put up on the corners to tell us how big this thing will be. That's the far end, and then there's another one over here. And so what we're doing is we're just going to mow the area where the greenhouse is going, and we're going a little bit beyond where it will be, so that when we put our ground cover down, it will extend out past the greenhouse itself and will hopefully keep the grass from growing back into the greenhouse. So we're cutting a little bigger than what the greenhouse is going to actually be, and that's the reason for that. So we're just going to mostly clear out all this grass in here where the ground cover goes, and probably once we put the ground cover down, it will kill that grass off anyway, which is a good thing. But for now, it's just going to make it lay a little flatter if we go ahead and mow this.
Okay, so we have laid out the black plastic to sort of line it up. In laying out the square of this greenhouse, since we're trying to make it equal distance from the garden, we're just pulling 8 feet off the garden fence and using that as our measurement. So that'll give us the distance for this original straight line. We put a post, just an old galvanized pipe, at both ends, and as long as these are not loose in the ground, we are at 48 feet. But now I'm going to just double check it one more time to make sure that we're at 48 feet before we start cutting stuff, like the ground fabric. I dropped my tape. Okay, so when I put my tape in this end and have it tight, and Kevin puts it tight in his end, what do we have? 48. 48. So this is good. We can cut the ground cover plastic, and Kevin can roll this back up again. He's probably going to say, because we've done it a couple of times for double checking. He can wind that up, and we can put this ground cover down. We're planning to put 2 feet outside of the high tunnel or greenhouse, and then to have 1 foot border inside. We're hoping this will keep the grass and weeds from crossing over into the greenhouse, and then we're only fighting the ones inside, and it'll make a nice clear walkway around it. We don't want to waste a lot of the ground cover fabric by going a long distance, but we figure this 8 feet between the garden and the greenhouse or high tunnel, I use those words interchangeably, that 8 feet will give us room to bring equipment through, or the golf cart, something like that. So that's our plan, as it is right now.
Well, we got the first row done on the side right here. We are on the back side now, on the end, one of the ends. And we've got this ground cover put down. Pretty much what will happen is the wall will be from that pipe right there over to the other one. So that's where the wall will be. So what we've done is we've added another 3 foot on the inside here, because our thinking is that when you come in the door, there will be a door about right here in the middle. When you come in the door, you're not going to come in to immediately start planting. So we put another 3 feet in, so then from the edge of this, somewhere in this area here, we will start working out this way to run our rows of stuff that we're planting. So that's what our thinking is right now, and Carol is just putting staples in the middle along the seams to hold everything down.
You don't trip, because they become a tripping hazard if you've got loose areas for your toes to get caught.
Yes, there's too much of a gap in here. When you walk through here, you will catch yourself on it and it'll trip you. We know from experience. So we're trying to eliminate as many of those trip hazards as possible. So from here, after this, then we will go over to this side over here and run another strip down this side over to that far pole down there that you can't hardly see. But anyway, that's the plan for right now. So let's see how this works out. Alright, we got this other row run here. This is the next to the last one. We only have one more to go. This is down the side, which runs the length of this greenhouse, hoop house, high tunnel, whatever we're calling it. We have several names for it. Anyway, so we got that. And then this runs across what will be the back of it. This is the other side. Right here, okay. So then the last thing we have to do is run one strip from there across this way to connect to this end, and we will have the ground cover in for the perimeter of the high tunnel. It's just too hot out here today. It is probably pretty close to 90 degrees. I'm not sure what it is, but it's hot here today in Florida. And so we are going to call it quits for the day and do this the next time we come. Well, this concludes our first video for the series that we're going to do. We're going to do them in series rather than to do it all in one big long video. We're going to give y'all a break. So we're going to shoot these in little short videos of putting up the high tunnel. So we decided to stop here because it was getting so hot out here, and we were getting tired, and so we're going to do this one, and then we'll have another one for you hopefully in a few days when we get to the next stage of it. So thanks for joining us here on Hideaway Homestead. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't left us a comment, leave us comments. Tell us what you think about it. Until next time, thanks for joining us.